Today, welcome to Press Review.
Thank you. Good morning, the Anambra.
So let's hear your thoughts on the trending issues from absradiotv.com. Meanwhile, you can join us by calling us on 0904 9560826 or call us on you drop your comment in the comment section on Facebook if you're watching us live on Facebook. And you've been trying to get to us, it's not getting to us. You can just drop your comment in the comment section and we'll read your comment.
You can as well send WhatsApp messages to the WhatsApp number 0705 113 8812. You can call us on the number 0706 538 1320. Remember, when you call, move away from your radio set. Tell us your name, give us a location, and go on to give us your opinion on the trending stories for today from our website. At due time, we'll look at the stories from the national dailies.
All right, Nemeka, the ball is in your court.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me start with Anambra State Assembly urges INEC to accelerate the process of reopening of Obogun market in Onitsha. The market has been closed down for more than 3 weeks now, following the clampdown of, some illicit drug sales in the market and all that. Now that is in Maka, just very few. The Obogun market is one of the biggest, drug market around here. Because I know of some people that come down from the north, and also the challenges is facing some the health sector. So whatever NAFDAC is doing, we urge the NAFDAC to expedite action in the investigation or whatever. They should expedite action in their investigation and clamping down on the financial, not Ijizimaka, very few, at many people are helpful. And also many stakeholders are Yogo NAFDAC, because it's long overdue for more than 3 weeks now. Or this is for Denia. So I know your NAFDAC, Kafabambo Biko, Nepalanya Nepo market, because they say health is health is wealth.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we've also been joined by commentator on national issues, Barrister Chris Arukwe. Ezenia, welcome to Press Review.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, let's share your thoughts on the trending headlines from absradiotv.com.
Oh yes, the drug thing is actually very important. It's actually very important. You don't throw the child with the bathwater, so to say. You can't say that you can't find one genuine drug seller in that main market, that main drug hub, because it's a drug hub. It's the place where the secondary sellers come and pick and then go and resell. Besides the pharmacies that actually get their supplies directly from them, there are other people who depend on such hub to earn a living and they contribute to the health sector. It's important that you don't use one sledgehammer to kill a fly on a delicate wall.
Yeah.
It's very, very important, and our authorities, our leadership, our governor should throw his weight behind the market and see that things are properly done. We can create, I know that there's land they have had secured a place, a better place where that drug market or hub can situate and be monitored, because we can't say that things are not done badly here, because we have heard stories of very bad Indian drugs coming into the country, and that place is a reception point, including Aba and the rest of other places, not just this our Onitsha segment of that thing. It's a national, global issue.
Sure.
Illicit drugs and all that. But the fact that these people earn a living, pay their taxes in Anambra State, and that they help to distribute the draining drugs, which some people live on drugs. Actually, there are people who live on drugs because they have to maintain this biodata, maintain your high pressures, maintain your heartbeats and all that. So such drugs are important that anything that touches to the supply is important, that we don't allow it to go on.
Okay, and in the spirit of see something, say something, I think the people there, they know themselves. They know the ones, engaging in illegal and
it should be an ongoing thing. It's not something you would do. You just close the market and you go home.
That's where I'm driving at. So that they will help finger those involved in such, so that they will be apprehended while they run their genuine business. That's the area I'm coming from.
The issue of Ofuaka because I remember the experience while in secondary school. Onye nkuzi mweke bata na class juoke ndi na eme otongoro ege ekwu apia everybody.
So that's why oji di mpa ndi umakwa ndi na eme ba kwuo no nda na eme government popular they never want to make the rating because it borders on health. You know, like you said, some people are living on drugs and other things to stay alive. And then where you supply fake drugs to them, you are killing them. You are sending them to their early grave. Okay, somebody has joined us. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Well, I want to throw the line of the suggestion bro just made.
Yeah.
Because we are looking at life.
Yeah.
And we have executive in this market. What is their duty? About 3 weeks ago, about a month ago, the police in Abuja were all over the place looking for these Nkanka people. So they were removing all the drainages in Abuja. And they went to the market. And they closed that market there. I don't even know that I have opened it. We should make it upon ourselves to make sure that we do things that are right. I'm not that know when DJ going to but like one of them said, because when there's a crime at police, because they raid everybody. At the end of the day, find out who is innocent and who is not innocent.
Yeah. On
the whole, we are appealing to government to look at the best way to checkmate this thing. Sometimes you see customs inside the market. What are customs doing in the market? They are the border.
Yeah.
They are the ports. They don't control this thing. They come inside the market to come outside to check this thing. The best way to do this is for us to be serious at our borders and our ports. When you can check these things, then this one and God bless Nigeria.
Bless you too for your contribution as well. Yeah. Okay. Are we commenting on any other one? Otherwise, we move over to the national tellies.
Yes. Salute those political appointee tax politicians on constructive criticism. Imago is an election year in Anambra State, and ọtụtụ ife obele ife kete enweke gọvanọ kwa ụkwala ndị opposition ekwuo na ụkwala nke ọkwa na ọkwa sikazia ike na ego ndị Anambra ka o ji akwa ụkwala. Anambra is an A-list state and a very politically active state. So ahead of the November election, I know the political heavyweights to be more constructive in their criticism, especially the aides to some of those politicians. Makema Gombo Fodo, onye asino onye kwelonwa police, obugodulozo, bokobande mmado. The election is, slowly gathering momentum. That is it. The election is, the political transfer window is open. It's a time politicians get child dedication, housewarming, and all that. Ahead of the November election, I know your political, heavyweights in the state and political appointees. Both the government in power and the opposition in the state to be more constructive, in criticizing the government, because definitely criticism is one of the ingredients of a democracy. We must be constructive because Anambra State, Anambra State, politically, so Kaijena, maybe a Kobono Mamangozin and the yard and all that. Wherever there is a need for improvement, your criticism must be constructive. And I must commend the government of the day to maintain the momentum in delivering democracy dividend to India Anambra. Like in one of the interviews, Governor Soludome, if I'm on a call here, if your opposition will say, well, I'm not distracted. I'm more concerned with it deliver good mandate in the Anambra. It shows somebody who is focused on delivering dividend of democracy to India Anambra. So when you're ahead of the November election, let's be more constructive. Obedient movement set to support viable candidates. But for the party, individual that will deliver the interests of the people at heart. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, let me just mention the enforcement of third-party motor insurance commences in Oka, violators dragged to mobile courts. Yesterday was particularly an unpleasant day along the express from your place down to the place. A lot of people, motorists, ran into your premises for safety of their cars or impounding of their vehicles and all that. This third-party thing, like you will know, insurance is a private business. And a competent court of law has ruled that police has no business enforcing private businesses for parties. It is the insurance companies that should take these people to court, or that the Insurance Corporation of Nigeria, the people who are concerned with insurance regulation. It is not something that you come out in a first swoop without adequate sensitization in a manner that is violent, in a manner that is very unhealthy, to stop, impound vehicles and all that. We should do it lightly. The burden on the people, on the shoulders of the people, are quite sufficient. Anything you add to the pains of the people in these times is quite burdensome. Even if you want to enforce, see how lightly you can begin with it. You can begin with, if you stop and you sensitize, advise the person, please, have you had this third-party insurance? Why don't you get it? It is for your benefit. It is for the benefit and safety of the third person that you may have some kind of collision with. But in a first swoop, you are impounding and you're harassing, you're violating rights and liberties of some people on a federal highway is not something that we should all keep quiet about.
Okay. All right. Somebody is here. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, dear.
Good morning.
I thank the people in the studio, at least for talking about Obogu Market Manager. Maka na ọ bịa anyị mkparị nne, afọ mbụ Jude, esi mmiri wee na-akpọ. Well, it's good ka enwee a monitoring agency gonna monitor who take drugs and all those stuff. Mana ihe nna ya bụ, can NAFDAC n'onwe ya for one, na-agwakwa onwe ha eziokwu. But if you make sure na ndị na-enye NAFDAC number na ọgwụ niile ha na-alụ, ha bụkwa original drugs. Because ama na most ọgwụ enye NAFDAC number, if you drink them today, they won't work. For instance, if you take someone to US where bata obodo, but UK bata obodo, in one year, you feel the difference. Ozugbo oge nye gị instant ihe ịchọ. But in one, nke NAFDAC your number, MZO maọbụ MMB maọbụ ndị ọzọ, let me not call names for sorry for calling names.
Yes.
The full problem, you na-anwụ in that content NAFDAC number. Still, all the fit in Egypt, malaria, all those stuff, typhoid, people. So if they can sit up within themselves, they have to make sure and the NAFDAC government had meet the standard worldwide. The WHO standard, not necessarily any ego and any that number. It's not. It is very, very wrong. It is still our own head can ego. So they should be very careful and be conscientious. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Over now to the national dailies, kick-starting with this day. From this day, Tinubu reassures global oil investors of easy repatriation of their investments. Lobobiri reiterates Nigeria expecting over $20 billion FIB in coming months. Kyari says NNPC leading charge on gas infrastructure expansion. Tala Oilfield Court reaffirms King EMP as legal owner, operator of OML 46. Presidency to El-Rufai, it's time to move on. MBS, aided by non-oil sector, GDP grew by 3.40% in 2024, 3.84% in quarter four. The riders to that effect are non-oil sector contributed 94.49%, oil 5.51%, oil production increases to 1.54 million barrels per day. Edun Health Fit says it's testament to Nigerian economy's resilience, success of Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Senate, Nigeria will attain $1 billion economy through tax reform bills. Akume FG committed to bold fiscal reforms to plug leakages, reposition economy. These are the trending ones from this day.
From Vanguard on insecurity, we have how lack of surveillance tech aids criminals, terrorists. Riders say Nigeria's $490 million failed CCTV project, fueling insecurity in FCT. Others. Abductions for ransom, now order of the day. CCTV contractor vanishes with $490 million. Coming from, is a report from Alero. We have 7th House of Reps said projects abandoned. Failed project, national embarrassment, coming from ex-DSS boss. We've strengthened security agencies to meet emerging challenges, coming from Tinubu. And then June 12 annulment, I'll challenge my prosecution by IBB, coming from Falana. Customs raises concern over tax reform bills, crucial step towards achieving Tinubu's $1 trillion economy, coming from Senate. US excludes UK, Nigeria, others from visa-free entry for 2025. I've never discussed running for president in 2031 with anybody, coming from Ribadu. That of Nigerian footballer, controversy rages in Uganda. Still on Vanguard, Lagos Assembly crisis, Miranda agrees to step down if, that's coming from sources. El-Rufai hurt because he wasn't made minister, coming from the presidency. Plot against Murtala Muhammad started from day one, coming from IBB. Finally, from the Vanguard, is federal government's reforms responsible for rise in oil production? That's from Tinubu.
And from the Daily Times, tariff hike. FCCPC summons multi-choice once against exploitation. ASU warns of looming crisis in universities, condemns a move to replace a TET fund. El-Rufai, I'm still a member of APC, but can't attend NEC meetings. AME refutes reports on automatic promotion initiative. Plateau booms with fake hospitals, schools commissioner. And then finally from here, in page 2 of today's Daily Times, we have Chief of Army Staff giving tips on how we can tackle terrorism, insecurity in Africa.
From The Guardian, Tinubu okays 1 trillion naira financing for states to strengthen primary health care centers. PHCs. AFCC arraigned 16 Chinese for alleged cyber-terrorism internet fraud in Lagos. On the banner headline from The Guardian, Jonathan Jega carpet politicians Judiciary, INEC over flawed elections. Natasha sues Akpabio aid 100.3 billion naira for alleged defamation as Senate considers punishment. APC begins 2027 groundwork as Tinubu governors. Party leaders meet on internal crisis. IBB revelation. Igbo group demands 100 trillion naira compensation for Ndibo. Non-oil sector pushes GDP up by 3.84% in fourth quarter. Belgium fears losing 40% petrol exports to Nigeria as Tinubu woos investors. Court remands Lagos Assembly workers for alleged assault on DSS officers. These are trending stories from The Guardian.
Moving over now to Tribune, CBN frustrating probe into 30 trillion naira ways and means. That's from a Senate panel. Afenifera appoints Oba Oladipo as new leader. Lagos Assembly Union leadership demands release of 3 detained staff. Finally, APC holds NEC meeting today. Oyo Assembly okays issuance of bond to finance remodeling of Aboa shopping complex. OSEC chairman takes IGP Osun CP to court. Court sentences Ekiti teachers to 44 years imprisonment for the filing teenager student. Okay, we've taken care of the MBS Nigeria's GDP and Natasha's case, so we can't go on rehashing that. So to the next paper, we move before we get back to the analysts. Okay, and that should be the Nation. So from the Nation, we have 1.5 million candidates register for UTME exam to hold April 25. Natasha shoes at Babi orders for that's 100.3 billion. Kogi Senator faces ethics panel. Attack on APC Tinubu President Ribadu Mokri child Erufai. Why IOCs won't leave Nigeria by Lokobiri. And then teachers, okay, we've taken care of that. Reconciliation, inclusivity for new members, top APC NEC agenda. President holds national caucus. And then services, petrol refining sectors propel services. Petrol refining sectors propel GDP growth to 3.84%. This is fastest growth rate in 3 years, says Edun Yusuf. Economy on track. Waleke, real sector still slow. And then FCC PC invites multi-choice CEO over DSTV subscription hike. Okay, back to the analysts in the studio.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me start with how lack of surveillance tech aids criminal and terrorists. Then I also have a very disturbing news here. Nigeria failed project, 490 million CCTV project, fueling insecurity in FCT. Well, the problem I always have with government projects is when some serious projects that concerns the people are handed over to friends of people in the corridor of power. I can remember during the last administration of His Excellency Governor Willie Obiano, most of our major streets in the state were equipped with strict security camera and a digital security vehicle at every junction. Now today, where are all these cameras? It's a source of concern. Even our almighty FCT Abuja are complaining of insecurity. Terrorist batana an estate in Abuja kidnap a major general. These are some of the funny things we hear every day in this country. So you ask yourself, what is the way forward? At the end of the day, when you engage some young people Now, Joe, why you don't listen to radio or TV? Fasigo apotaka anoba na ebulu $490 million CCTV camera while also moneke lolo ego and all those things. Government should be more serious in aiming back public trust. If Abuja cannot boast of a functional CCTV camera in the major streets of Abuja, the state, the federal capital, then I can remember during the days of Governor Sullivan Chino of Enugu State, or when we can drive past anywhere in Enugu State, ega put on a traffic for any police officer. Come ega for motor police, but once you beat any traffic light in Enugu State, after 5 minutes you see a police vehicle following you behind. Opposite no argument, they will just play the CCTV camera, kiss breaky the traffic light. You go in for it. So the least thing we should do or government should do to aim back public trust and fight insecurity. $490 million CCTV projects in Abuja. And then somebody awarded this contract. You see, sometimes we at a point we have to, get tired of talking, because I don't know how long we'll keep talking about all those things. And don't or people lose interest in even what is happening in government. So all the very, very unfortunate that even Abuja cannot boast of a functional CCTV camera in the major streets of Abuja.
Okay. All right, before you come in, we have some people dropping messages on the Facebook from Pascal Chukwuike. Good morning, ABS and in Anambra. I still want to applaud Mr. Governor for his good works, and I urge him to look at the constructive criticism from opposition. I believe we all want Anambra State to move forward. I support the Ohanese Ndibo demanding 10 trillion naira compensation for Ndibo for the false narrative labeled against us. Dalono. PC Natuanya. Good morning, all. Let the case of Oborg not be like Nigeria lingering court cases. The government and NAFDAC should open the market as soon as possible, then go ahead to prosecute 1 or 2 persons arrested already to send a signal to others who are into fake products dealings. And finally, also Francis or Magandamani, also Francis, watching live from Amagunzi in Enugu State. Good morning, my people in the studio, and keep up the good work. Our electoral process need to be well restructured ahead of 2027 elections. Honestly, so many Nigerians have lost confidence in INEC. This narrative must be corrected. Thanks, and God bless. Okay, back to SNU.
Yeah, the one that caught my attention this morning is on a lighter mood. The sequence happening at the Senate between the beautiful Natasha. Her name is as beautiful as she is.
Oh, yeah.
And she catches the eyes of the average indweller and all that. And our Senate president have lost it a couple of times on such sites. And I was listening to early morning newspaper review where people were saying that the Senate president has rights under the rules of the Senate to reassign sitting positions to senators, as the case may be. And it does seem to me that the law normally says when you want to exercise a discretion, you must exercise that discretion judiciously. There must be an idea there is no bias. There must be an idea that there is fairness and there's equity and good conscience in dealing with such a discretion given unto you by power or rule or statute. So what will be asked is, did Akpabio, in exercising that function of reassigning a seat, actually meet with this requirement of fairness, equity, good conscience, and all that and all that? Because the lady was beefed because she has been reassigned one other time the sitting position can give you visibility.
Yeah.
The camera can give you visibility to the microphone and all that and all that.
Yeah.
And I learned that where she was given at the back as a first-time, second-time senator, lacked visibility.
Yeah.
And it was sudden and
Not in good faith.
and apparently not in good faith, like my colleague will say, because I have analyzed and said there are certain things that must be met. Fairness, judiciously given, equity, good conscience, and all that. How many other persons have been reassigned in recent times? Why must it be this lady? And I am not playing advocate for her. But the next thing is she's suing for 100.53 billion. Suing the Senate president and others who may go against her because they now have a panel, disciplinary panel, to look at her conduct, whether she actually overdid it or not. But it's at the heat of the moment, things like this happen. And you know that women, they are lighter in their temper and all that and all that.
Yeah.
So whatever she displayed, a normal man may have just handled it a little tactically. Not just that the average man wouldn't get angry, but wouldn't overblow the lead. I don't know whether she overdid it, but I'm counting. You know that anything that happens within the chambers of the Senate is a privileged action, and it is not justiciable. You can't go to court about it and all that. That is where that going to court will suffer a certain type of setback or the other. Except there are other issues that can be said to be above the normal transaction in a Senate chamber. Like if there's a fight, you will know that a fight, a slap, are not part of the condiments with which Senate rules or Senate obligations are cooked. So, but no matter how it is, a law court is a law court. A law court may be able to grant her some reprieve, may be able to grant her some internment of her mind, because what she's guarding against is not just that money. She's guarding against using the rules to wipe out her fundamental rights. So such conduct coming from the leadership of the Senate should be condemned, because it gives an idea that this Senate is not a very serious place where the things that concern the masses are dealt with. You are dealing with sitting arrangement. You're dealing with travel, because she complained that she has been deprived of travel.
Using her money to travel.
You know, these things are about very unethical things that we should not be hearing. Akpabio should actually rise above this kind of situation.
And when she complained now, she was told that the Senate chambers is in a club.
It's not a club, it's not what you call it.
And then after some time, some of them intervened, and then she was taken out of the chambers and so on and so forth. And then the bitter experience of how she's
they say it's not a content.
Senate
is not where they make content. The woman may be glamorous. Ordinarily, she's a beautiful woman. And that is not an issue.
But it has nothing to do with
it's not the issue.
It's about the conduct.
It's about her own personal liberties. It must be guaranteed. Whether she's ugly, dark or fair, it's not the issue. The issue is, can somebody say that the action of Akpabio was justified because she gave the woman her fundamental rights? It was fair, it was not biased, it cannot be produced by prejudice of any type. Because if you have a prejudice against somebody, if you have preconceived idea that this woman is arrogant, that this woman is not cooperating with my intentions of bringing her closer to my distances, men will want, the average man would like to have that kind of woman around him. Or
Before I pop, I am to the mirror. He's watching from Zamfara State.
Zamfara.
Yes, Anthony Mera, yes. So,
yes, Igbo groups, IBB's revelation, Igbo groups demand 100 trillion compensation for Ndelibo. As in Ezioku, no matter how hard you try to bury it, the truth is a very, very stubborn beast. You know, it's very unfortunate what is happening now, the revelation of 1993 general election. That our greatest problem in the country is politicians. Until we have people in seat of power who truly has the interest of the people at heart. And also my concern is not demanding 100 trillion for Ndibo. Check it out what is happening between El Rufai and the Rebado and all that. Far plan about the next 8 years, how to take over power. When will an Igbo man occupy that number one position in the country?
That's $1 trillion question.
And ego should not be our problem. We should come back home and revisit our position in this country. If we are truly going to be part of this politically geographical setting called Nigeria, it should go beyond demanding 100 trillion from the government. Because this is a case of Abalaka and Azana. They are already planning who is taking over from Tinubu. After Tinubu now, they are already preparing Tinubu's son. After Rebadu. I know one now a seek compensation of 100 trillion. And 100 trillion, you're going to get 10 years. So it's a very critical question. We the Igbos need to come back, especially our political leaders. We need to come back, sit down on a round table, and actually decide if this political marriage called Nigeria is something we really want to continue with.
Okay.
Not enough to demand it. Look at ordinarily, maybe in the next 20 years, I was going to win the 2023 election.
Oh, well.
Maybe demand is 100 trillion.
IBB's memoirs, as a kind of elicited a lot of mixed reactions from different quarters. Some are applauding him, like you are saying. Other people are condemning him. Some people are saying that he should be brought to, book.
Before this revelation, many people has written about what took IBB and other northern political leaders this whole decade to agree to the fact that 1993 election, June 12, the rightful winner of that election was robbed off. So maybe after those 50 years, we want
to thank you for coming, Nemeka Obitube, publisher, Envoy magazine, and of course, a public affairs analyst.
Thank you very much for having me
today.
And also Barrister Chris Arugwe, commentator on national issues. Thank you so much for coming on Press Review.
Thank you.
Boy, Equity Fair, join us again at 9. Just keep it locked. At 9 again, we'll be here on Nzuka Anambra to call in and then contribute.
My name is Uche Chukwu Ebonam.